Hi, boys and girls. We're going to do our third read of Jack and the Wolf. And let's just look at the story. We're going to ask some questions like, who's the main character of this story? And if you said Jack, you were right. And if I were to ask you, where did this story happen? Would you say the beach or the mountains or the hills? Looks like these are hills. And in fact, the author said that Jack sat on a big hill. He wanted you to know more about the hill. It was a big hill. And it looks like it's in a rural place. That means it's out in the country. And it looks like he's the main character. It looks like the minor characters are the townspeople, the sheep, and later the wolf. Remember in this story, the first two times he yelled wolf because he was bored, the townspeople came, but then when they saw that he was tricking them, they didn't come the third time. Remember that? Luckily, the sheep were able to get away using their imaginations. Make-believe story. Okay, and at the end of he decided he was going to change and not trick people anymore. Right, we're going to look at some words. They are our vocabulary words and our sight words for the story. And this one says, once upon a time. And when you say that, once upon a time, that means the story happened long ago. And this is a fable. And fables are old stories that teach lessons, and they happen long ago. So we use once upon a time. You'll be able to read that by yourself when you read the story. This word says wolf, and that's a wild animal. It sort of looks like a dog, but like a big dog. Trick. When you try to fool someone, you're trying to trick them. And sheep. They're animals that are covered with wool, and they say, bah. And here are our sight words. Here, away, come, said, call, every. All right, so I think we're going to read this now. I'm going to be whisper reading it, and you're going to read it with me. Then I'm going to ask you some questions. So pay attention. This is our third time. You should have this down. Okay, ready? I'm whispering and you're reading it. Jack and the Wolf. Did you read that? Once upon a time, Jack sat on a big hill. Jack had every sheep with him. It is not fun to sit, said Jack. Hope you guys read that. I will yell wolf for fun. Wolf! His friends ran up the hill to help. They did not see Wolf. Jack sat back on the hill. I will yell wolf. Wolf! His friends ran back up the hill. They did not see Wolf. Jack sat back on the hill. Wolf got up on a rock. Jack and his sheep ran away. Wolf! And he looks hungry too. Did you hear me call? Said Jack. You did not come. You cannot trick us, said Nell. I will be good, said Jack. I will not trick you. Okay. So, do you guys remember who wrote the story? Was it Harry Potter? Was it Eric Carle? Or was it Chris Sheben? I told you that on Monday. He's the one that drew all the pictures. He painted them with his watercolors. And then he wrote all the words. So remember where the setting of the story was? Was it a city, a jungle, or the top of a big hill? If you said it was on the top of a big hill, you were right. Here's where it says that. On a big hill. So do you remember what a short make-believe story that teaches a lesson is called? Is it called informational text? Is it called a fable? Or is it called realistic fiction? It's called a fable. This is an easy one. A wild animal that looks like a big dog. Is that a bear, a lion, or a wolf? A wolf. So how did Jack feel at the beginning of the story? Did he feel happy, bored, or excited? That's a bored face. He was bored at the beginning. So an animal that has 4 legs and it's covered with wool is a sheep, a goat, or a llama? A sheep. And why did Jack's friends run up the hill? Was it because Jack cried wolf? Was it because Jack was drowning? Or was it because Jack got lost? His friends ran up the hill because Jack called wolf. Okay, and which word means the same as trick? Bully, scare, or fool? If I said I trick you, that would mean the same as I fool you. I fooled you. And do you remember how many times Jack yelled wolf? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. He yelled wolf 3 times in this story. What does once upon a time mean? Does it mean tomorrow, today, or long ago? Once upon a time means long ago. So who is not a character in this story? A fireman, a wolf, or a sheep? Who is not a character in this story? Well, I see the wolf and I see the sheep. So they must mean that the fireman was not in the story. So fireman was not in the story. So what lesson did Nell teach him? Teach Jack? Did she teach him to be nice to sheep? Did she teach him that a wolf can be your friend? Or did Nell teach him that he cannot trick his friends? You're right. She taught him that he cannot trick his friends. Okay, until next time. Bye-bye.